Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to Rassle Rock with Rick Connor.
What the F was that entire freaking promo about?
Mark Hallbacher.
She's like the James Ellsworth of women.
And Cory Castle.
I look like Paul London and Brian Kendrick mixed.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Rassle Rock. We're doing a little bit later this week because we can.
We got the flexibility.
We absolutely do. We got that swag.
You ain't doing anything better anyway. None of you are working. There's a pandemic. None of us are working. You got time to watch it on a different day.
Oh yeah, man. Well, let's jump right into it, man, because everybody keeps on talking about all the madness, the absolute madness that's happening this week, which is the WWE Network is shutting down. It's gone. Forget about it. It's over. It's over, Johnny. It's doing nothing, and they sold it to NBC. So WWE Network will be appearing on exclusively on the Peacock Network starting on March 18th for $4.99 for premium members. So it's half price and the same content. So good for us. Good for WWE, I guess. What do you guys think about it?
One thing I'll warn everybody, because I went and looked it up. Which direction? We're going this way.
Yeah, they haven't released anything to subscribers. Like, hey, subscribers, check it out. You're about to get boned. So be careful of bonage.
They're promoting that it's cheaper if you go there because it's $5, but it's like Hulu. So if you have Hulu but you don't pay for Hulu Premium, you pay like whatever it is for Hulu. Like it has commercials, so you're still gonna have to go to not the $9.99 anyway for Peacock,
right? Just
so you get no commercials. But if you're into NBC or Comcast like TV shows, because that's who owns Peacock, it's Comcast.
Yeah, so it'd be cool to get like 30 Rock and like Parks and Rec and The Office, like all the episodes without ads. Yeah, and the WWE pay-per-views. I'll take it. I'll pay the $10 a month. Yeah, man. I'm already paying $10 a month for WWE Network.
You're literally getting more content for $10, so it's not really a negative. And then hopefully, I don't own the Peacock Network, so I don't notice. I don't know if it's like Netflix or Disney Plus where you can add up to like 3 or 4 people to your account. But I don't know if you know, when I would watch WWE, if I would watch a pay-per-view with you guys, I have my account set up at my parents' house so my dad can watch it. He can't watch it while I'm watching it live. So I'm hoping with Peacock, maybe there's a positive now where I can just add my dad as an account to Peacock, and then he can watch the pay-per-view while I'm watching the pay-per-view. You know, and then he doesn't have to worry about that anymore. And that's kind of cool too. You know, so I'm going to switch over, but I guess I'm going to wait till after February's pay-per-view, and then I'll just cancel the WWE Network. Because I don't know if they're going to nail you for that $10 payment for like 2 weeks of March, and then it goes into Peacock, and then you got to pay an extra $10 for Mania. So as soon as the WWE pay-per-view is over in February, I'm canceling my membership.
My mom was like, I was telling her about this, and she was like, "Yeah, don't hold your breath thinking that WWE is not gonna still try to charge you for the extra $10 next, like for March when it even is over. So just make sure that you cancel it manually. But I mean, I'm sure they're gonna."
I just stirred sauce.
What that?
I just stirred a sauce.
Chef Mark over here making dinner while we're doing our show.
I need the music from Goodfellas, so I'm stirring the sauce. He's all jacked out.
I didn't understand that you were saying I'm stirring the sauce because we were talking about the network and the money, and you're like, I'm stirring the sauce. I'm like, what is he saying? Is he saying my mom's paranoid about WWE taking my money? Your mom's just paranoid. It's irrational. She's stirring the sauce, bro. She's just stirring the sauce.
Never be paranoid that a corporation is going to try taking an extra $10 from you.
We're just stirring the sauce here, folks. Stirring the sauce.
Yeah, it's
corporations are all corporation-y.
It definitely sounded like a negative in the beginning, and then because Rick and I talked about it last night, and then I really thought about it. I was like, well, you get all this content, and then if they do that, it's actually better than WWE Network in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So
if they give you everything that's currently on the network, I know that they're going to the Madison Square Garden shows and the old episodes of Raw and Superstars and all that stuff. That's still going to be on. I don't know if they're. No one said anything if they're definitely bringing over like the AWA and the NWA and all that other stuff that they own, all the WCW stuff. I'm not going to lose any sleep if we lose like Holy Foley or something, but I don't want to. I don't want to lose.
You don't watch Legends House for the 4th time?
I will watch Legends House again because a lot of those people are dead now, and I don't think you should get rid of it.
And screw me for saying something. I definitely don't want to lose the Legends House either because I've already watched it like 4 times.
the one thing I ask is please bring back that all I have to do is put a wrestler's name in and then a bunch of their matches pull up. WWE, for some reason, did away with that in the last year, and it's annoying. I was in the mood one day. I think it was when Sting went to AEW. I just wanted to watch old Sting, like, Muda matches and Sting versus Flair and some of his Vader matches, just watch some stuff. And I couldn't watch any of it because you put Sting in, and it just gives you a profile. And then all the pay-per-views underneath it, and I have to find him on those pay-per-views to to watch his match. I have to like scan through the entire page. That's not how it works.
It's not how any of this works. The only negative that I can think of is how this isn't going to affect the current WWE product, because once again, WWE made a $1 billion deal. We don't have the exact figure of what they paid for it, but they made a $1 billion deal. They're just going to have that money now. They're bringing in more income, and the income that they're bringing in doesn't have anything to do with whether or not the fans are actually watching. Because there was only I think 1 million or 1 billion or something like that. People that it was 1 million that were subscribed to the network, and it goes back and forth because it doesn't really affect what we see on television every Monday and Thursday or Friday night, whatever the hell SmackDown's on Friday night.
Or Wednesdays.
So I mean, it's
and
NXT on Wednesdays. I mean, it's. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like it's not really affecting kind of change.
Here's
not like a rating.
Here's the weird conspiracy theory, and it's kind of true. Once they tie up with the Peacock Network, when they do a shareholders meeting, they can probably get the exact numbers, but they're going to fudge the numbers and use Peacock watchers as actual people to subscribe. So they can say there's 2 or 3 million people subscribed when really WWE might be, 700,000 or 1.5 million or whatever. They can fudge the numbers to look good for their shareholders.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just an opportunity to like snowball more and more and more income through.
Yeah. So they can get more investors and make more money. Like, I was already looking at WWE shares because I was trying to buy them, and it's like, forget it. I can't afford that right now. Like, like I should have bought it when it was $29 like 6 months ago or whatever it was, and I would have made big.
I mean, back in the late 90s, the thing that ushered in the Attitude Era was that they were getting killed in the ratings, and they wanted to boost those ratings, so that they changed the product to do that. And now they just have to make another deal with somebody. Oh, you get the exclusive rights to this, and now pay us $1 billion, and that's what we're making our money off of. It's getting closer and closer to being that we don't need actual fans to watch in order for them to put out a product, which is not a good idea in my mind.
Well, they're also in the business of and this came up when we did a pay-per-view a while back, and Matt Flowers was on it, and he brought this up. He was trying to talk about it, but we had a bunch of people on the show at the time. I think everybody missed it. WWE isn't about putting out good wrestling anymore. It's content. They're just putting out content, just throwing it out there, like constantly just to have content out there. It's not about the wrestling product anymore. They're a content provider. So now they're on a bigger platform, producing more content. It doesn't – I don't know, man. I don't think wrestling is going to get better because of this. I
think that it opens up the opportunity, though, for the NBC Universal, the NBC there to be an NBC Universal Championship. We could absolutely have that. But I think
of many ideas.
it could be good opportunities to cross over, to have like NBC stars involve themselves in WWE programming and WWE superstars to be involved in NBC programming, and it kind of like opens up. There's already Fox, and now there's the NBC Universal. It kind of almost seems like WWE's right in the middle of a conflict of interest, because like Fox and NBC are both like pretty major networks.
Yeah,
except for like
we didn't really see any Fox TV stars pop on since SmackDown's been on Fox. And I can't think of any NBC stars unless it's like the Saturday Night Live guys or something like that.
Yeah, well, I think it had a lot to do. I think it had a lot to do with COVID. I think Fox, if you notice, Fox was tying WWE into their sports. They play the NFL theme song when they advertise them. When you're watching, well, you guys don't watch football, but I do. When they advertise the WWE, they play the NFL theme. I think COVID messed it up, because I really think what was going to happen was Fox was going to start having like football players and whatever sport they were pushing show up in the crowd, probably, front row, and be like, "Hey, you guys love wrestling? Well, why don't you watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play this week?" By the way, Tom Brady's going to Super Bowl again, 10th time. Unbelievable. I need Nick Burke to talk about this. But yeah, they just couldn't do it. And I still see when this all lifts, which is looking more like the summer's when it's going to finally pass us, we'll start seeing more and more Fox people show up on WWE once we start getting crowds again in the actual stands. So I can see that. And what you said, Corey, was kind of neat. Why did they do an NBC championship? Why did they have a guy who's very literate, a very good personality, like a very good personality in wrestling, win a belt that's the NBC championship, and then he becomes a spokesperson on like NBC, like either news or talk shows or whatever.
Well, they just make the Universal Championship the NBC Universal Championship.
Yeah, why not?
Like, just make that be Roman Reigns now. Like, he's like, oh yeah, Universal, sure. Now you're a part of going on Jimmy Fallon. Now you're a part of getting, being a guest on CSI or whatever show. It just be a better way to get WWE more penetration into the mainstream marketplace.
Exactly.
You're right.
I was just agreeing.
I mean to throw that on you.
Throw it on me for me to just go,
But I don't. I mean, it's the same thing as the TNT Championship on AEW. I don't like it. I just don't like it. Like, I don't care what it does for the company. It's just dumb to name your belt after the TV station you're on. I mean, like if more people start watching on YouTube than they do on regular network television, are you going to have a YouTube championship? Because I want to win that.
I don't know. If you lose that, do you get demonetized?
Blocked. I just had one of my episodes blocked by YouTube. Blocked. So I got to do some edit work.
They tried to do that with our last episode because I started playing a little bit of that music video that AJ Styles was in. They're like, well, we're not going to put this on. And I'm like, uh-oh. So if you watch the episode back, it's just pictures of the video instead of the actual video.
Wait, but we didn't play any sound.
Yeah, I know. Apparently it's like, oh, we know that girl and we know that video. So no to you, Mr. Rassle Rock, with your couple of views per video.
High on the hog. Let's take it down a notch.
This makes no sense to me, because why can What Culture, even though they have more viewers than we do, but why can What Culture show the video with no sound and they didn't get taken down, but we do? Like, I'll never understand the people that screen YouTube videos ever.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with maybe paying extra, like licensing fines or something. Maybe they're more willing to pay that stuff, and that's like maybe a channel that's opened up between in conversation, a channel of conversation between YouTube and them, because it's not that way with us.
I think it has a lot to do with the algorithm, because as soon as I uploaded it. Like I didn't even make the video public yet, and immediately I got an email. It's like, this is copyright claimed. You can't do this. So it's definitely like some algorithm, some computer system somewhere spotted something, and it might have something to do with the length of the video too. I heard if you put it up for more than 7 seconds or something like that.
Oh Jesus!
It's all crazy. I'm sure there's a list of rules somewhere that I have not read.
It's in the user agreement, the terms and conditions.
Yeah,
that it says a ton of stuff in there that you don't know. It's just like, all right, let's get to the next thing. I want to like start getting work on this stuff.
Well, it's like,
next.
I
agree.
It's like signing up for Instagram. Do you really read the terms and agreement? They actually own your name as soon as you're just renting space on Instagram. So they own every ounce of your rights, like your image, everything. They own it as soon as so does Facebook. So that's why, like, I don't know if you noticed, I don't post anything on Facebook anymore.
It's a social dilemma.
Yeah, see that. If you have not seen that documentary, see it. You'll mess your head up.
Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg, bastard, screwing over Spider-Man.
What? He was Superman. He was a Superman bad guy.
Whatever. Superman, whatever it was.
You just call everybody the name of the character who played them in something.
I don't know. What was his name? Mark Zuckerberg. Whatever. Shut up. I want to see Mark Zuckerberg versus Superman tomorrow.
Now Justin Timberlake there, and I want him to tell you to drop. Let's not call it the fight. Let's just call it fight.
All right, let's get into a little Royal Rumble stuff. We haven't talked much about the Royal Rumble, and it's this Sunday. We'll be doing another live stream this Sunday for the Royal Rumble this time, man. It's my favorite pay-per-view of the year, and it's great, man. We have a whole bunch of news to talk about. Not too many matches going on. The only matches, the 3 regular matches that they've announced are Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the last man standing match for the Universal Championship, soon to be NBC Universal. Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg for the WWE Championship. And then you have Asuka and Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Yeah, I don't want to see that match, and I'm scared for the outcome. But you know what? Give them the tag belts. Just keep them away from the Royal Rumble. Nia Jax injured somebody else on Monday. Jesus Christ.
Dude.
She injured Dana Brooke.
It was Dana Brooke. She did some kind of weird half power bomb, and you could see Dana Brooke's head slap off the ring mat. It was ugly. It was ugly,
dude.
Is that Nia Jax? Is that Nia Jax, or is that Dana Brooke for not tucking her chin in? I'm asking you guys as wrestlers.
It looked like Dana Brooke. Say what? I'm sorry.
I would say it's on Dana Brooke, but the pattern is not taking the time to let that person get ready. So it's probably Nia Jax's fault.
Yeah, I'm gonna say more Nia Jax because it looked like Dana Brooke slipped a little bit. Like maybe she was ready, and then it just kind of like shifted a little bit. Like her leg kind of came down a little bit. Maybe she slipped out. But that was on Nia Jax to not go through with the move. Set her down and do it again. Who cares if it looks like garbage if the other option is to injure somebody? Well, you don't use your full. You never use your full force when you're power bombing somebody. You never slam people down like that. That causes concussions and back problems all over the place. Because my finishing move used to be a power bomb, and so I know these things.
Yes, you made someone pee themselves.
Stupid I did make somebody pee. I power bombed a girl one time, and I did a little too hard, and she ended up getting concussion and wetting herself. Let's not talk about that. That was my fault. And I should have known better. It was my fault, and I should have known better. And they should fire Nia Jax because this happens all the time. Where's Cory saying, "Oh, she doesn't exist anymore"? Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say the difference is it's not a live performance anymore. It's not like there's an audience there. You have the ability, like it's not a live thing anymore as much, is it? Like they could just cut that part out and add something better. Like it's not like the live audience was seeing it as it was happening, and if they were, you can just cut around that. Like you could do it again and cut around it. the magic of editing.
Exactly. But instead, they showed poor Dana Brooke, who's never truly learned to be that great of a wrestler. I mean, she was called up way too early, watching her head bounce off the ring like a basketball. Like, I actually yelled out loud watching that. I was like, you could tell that something wasn't right the way she hit that mat. And first thing she did was grab the top of her head. Like, you know how it is. Usually when people get powerbombed, they do the back thing. They always put their hand behind the back and act like she grabbed her head immediately. And I was like, oh, she got hurt.
But what I was trying to say was the Charlotte and Shayna like one-on-one was kind of cool. They were doing pretty cool. And then it was like, oh, well, Nia Jax doing a run-in and it's disqualification. And then everybody comes in and then it's a tag match. I'm like, oh, what, can't we just continue to have a good singles match between Shayna? Can't you just restart the match between Shayna and Charlotte? All these people go, okay, we came to run in and now we're leaving. Bye. Let's get back to the singles match.
I don't know, man. I don't know. And Rick, is it not labeled that Asuka, or did I not hear you? Asuka versus Alexa Bliss. Did I not hear you? Because that match should be really weird and interesting.
Yeah, that wasn't something I don't think you said, Rick.
No,
is that on
for the Royal Rumble this is supposed to happen?
Yeah, it's supposed to be on there.
It's happening at the Rumble.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not after Randy Orton, which was amazing. Randy Orton, RKO, and Alexa.
Yeah,
I mean, that was
awesome.
That was nuts.
That was really.
His makeup was terrible, but
what are you gonna do? It's live television. There's not too much you can do when you're all sweaty and everything like that. All that stuff just runs off you anyway. So
they should have kept the Dick the Bruiser mask on.
What's that?
They should have kept the Destroyer or whatever the luchador mask on him. I think they should have went with that for a while. Him just wearing the luchador mask.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a runner.
Think so too. I didn't have a problem with it, but like the internet exploded. It's like, look how dumb this mask is. Apparently, when you get burnt, you just put on a luchador mask and blah, 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 blah. And now they took it off, and everybody's like, look how dumb the makeup is. Nobody's ever happy. You know what people should be bitching about? Nia Jax. So, I mean, I don't know. Everybody's complaining about everything that's happening in WWE right now. So it's you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. The Royal Rumble's happening, and I'm very excited for it. Hopefully, if we get Asuka and Alexa Bliss, I didn't hear that. Did they announce that on Raw?
I think it was supposed to be on Raw. I think it showed in the graphic Nia Jax, it showed Asuka and Bliss, and it said tonight. And I don't think I ever got around to seeing that. Was that on Raw?
Yeah, it was on Raw, but it was a really odd match because like they're doing a lot of Bray Wyatt stuff with Alexa, and there was one moment where she threw Asuka out of the ring, and then this weird pipe music started playing, and then Alexa's in the ring on a rocking horse and just laughing and waving to her. And then they did that thing again where all of a sudden, like, Bray Wyatt's power is no longer on Alexa, and she starts breaking down and crying and like doesn't know where she is. And then all of a sudden everything changed again, and then she turned into this, I guess, the Fiend version of Alexa where you can't beat her, and she's doing the mandible claws or finisher, and
then the other girl comes out. She's like, Becky, or whatever. Lexi, you got to leave him, Lexi. Crisscross applesauce.
Where is that girl? Where is Nikki Cross? I haven't seen her in forever. I don't know. Is she even?
She doesn't matter anymore. She was supposed to be the one that goes heel, and then they put Alexa Bliss with the Fiend, and they just completely scrapped her entire character altogether.
I guess.
And then instead we got to watch Nia Jax just hurt people all the time instead of an actually half decent wrestler to wrestle. Instead
of getting the full Charlotte versus Shayna Baszler, which was an actual good match. No, we got to include everybody and make sure you get the pervy Ric Flair in there because that's the most important thing. So we got to get the Lacey Evans business and yada, yada, yada. I don't know. It goes on and on and on.
I'm sorry. Who's the good guy in that? Who's the good guy in that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand it at all because Flair is definitely a face, and Charlotte's coming back there getting in her father's face, looking like a heel. But then, what's her name? Lacey Evans gloms her from behind and takes her out. I just realized my camera was. And takes her out like which is another heel move. So they all look heel and they all look face all at the same time. I don't understand it at all.
Like, like her running down her father, like, you wasted all your money on it, and it's like, and you don't give any of us money. It's like, and it was funny. I have to steal from him. Simon Miller turned around. He's like, "Aren't you like how many time world champion? Aren't you rich? Like, why are you looking at your dad giving you money?"
Yeah,
it was just like a bad line. Mm-hmm. But like they don't make Rick look like a heel. They just make Rick look sympathetic, like he's a 70-year-old stupid old man, and it's kind of heartbreaking sometimes when I watch it. So, just because he's doing waist locks on Lexi or what's her name, Lacey Evans, I'm supposed to think he's a terrible human being. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, and I liked Ric Flair's whole thing yesterday on Raw, where it was just. I'm in my 70s. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and you kind of got the whole thing of like I'm in my 70s and I'm banging a girl in her 30s. Like, of course, like screw you. I'm living the life. I can't blame Rick for it at all. Even if it's like turns into like a Gold Digger storyline, like who cares? He's Ric Flair. He's Ric Flair. What did you expect was gonna happen?
He's like a hip hop artist. He's like, can't think, live the life, eating crab, watching ladies shake shit all night. And then here you go.
Wow. Have they not? Speaking of that, Corey, they dropped the ball on that. How would you not have those guys come out and do Ric Flair drip like out of Mania? Like, I hope they do it this Mania. Maybe Lacey versus Charlotte at Mania, and then they play Ric Flair drip and he comes out. I would lose my mind. That would be so awesome.
Like, I liked hearing that, like, just for like the clip and hearing that whatever that the Booker T song was, the Can You Dig It Sucka, they were playing. Was it like for the Royal Rumble or something?
Yeah. It's wild, dude. Did you see the video? Booker T looks amazing in the video.
I just saw like the little clip of it, and he was in like the GI Bro gear.
Yeah, he was in the GI Bro gear, and he's still jacked. He's just jacked. Oh God, I miss Booker. I was such a huge fan of Booker T when I was a kid, man. Like Harlem Heat, GI Bro, whatever they did to him, I love Booker. Like, that was one of those dudes you couldn't hurt him no matter what gimmick you slapped on him.
Right. No, even like the stuff he did with Goldust was fantastic. Like Goldie. He still looked like awesome. Goldie, what are you doing, Goldie? Booker T's amazing. I wish he would come back in some form or fashion because he was even good on commentary. I enjoyed him. I mean, he didn't make any sense a lot of the times, but it was fun. Like, it was funny just to watch him.
Yeah, he did. He made no sense, but at least there was personality, and it was entertaining. Like I was listening to commentary last night, and can we stop trying to explain the rules of the Royal Rumble match every 5 minutes? Why can't we just have like one segment the week before? Explain, they put it on the board. This is the rules of a Royal Rumble match. This is what happens, and it's over. They think they have this many, like 8 million new watchers that don't know what the Royal Rumble is. And it's like, come on, dude, I want to hear this again. Shut up, Todd. I know you're from Philly. And I'm supposed to show you love because I'm from Philly, but no.
It just seems like any close to the Royal Rumble, it's everyone that ever gets tossed over the top rope in a regular match. It's like, oh, if this was the Royal Rumble match, R-Truth would have just eliminated AJ Styles. Yeah, but it's not. They did that 3 times last night when somebody got tossed over the top rope, and I'm like,
that's what I'm talking about.
We get it, huh?
That's what I'm talking about. And the throwback to Simon Miller, because I was thinking about it last night. Again, I want it for now on. Everybody on Raw has to actually beat AJ Styles to be in the Rumble. I like how you have to like beat AJ Styles to actually get in the Rumble. I mean, he's eliminated 3 wrestlers in the last 3 weeks. They can't be in the Rumble.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. R-Truth is gold. He should be in everything they do.
Yeah.
He should show up in the WWE main event for no reason. The guy,
I love the surprise happy birthday or whatever the thing with the there's like there's 24 carats. I'm gonna get some of those carats.
Truth, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
That's what THB stands for. I know it's my surprise party. That was brilliant. That made me laugh. Made me laugh my ass off. That was great.
Right.
Yeah, Truth should definitely be in pretty much everything. They need to find something else to do with the 24/7 title, just because it's the gimmick's old, and Truth is way too good to be lost in this non-stop title match that's been happening since 2018, I think. So, but we'll see. Getting back to the Royal Rumble, though, I want to go over this. We got a men's match and a women's match for the Royal Rumble. Announced so far, you have 12 out of the 30 entrants in the women's match, which are Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Peyton Royce, Alexa Bliss, Shayna Baszler, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, and Tamina. That's why I don't think we're going to see Alexa Bliss versus Asuka, because usually they don't put the person that's in the championship match in the Rumble as well, because in case they win. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they announced
that she will be in the Rumble after defending her tag belt. So we'll see. And Charlotte Flair's winning anyway. That's my prediction already. Charlotte Flair. So they're going to have their 2-time female Royal Rumble winner.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now the men's
Cory,
different. I have no idea.
I absolutely think Charlotte's winning it. If not, I think it would be cool to see Shayna Baszler win it, but I don't think that's happening.
I wish.
Yeah.
I absolutely wish.
Yeah. It'd be absolutely great if it was like a Shayna Baszler or somebody that really deserves it. Like a Ruby Riott. Could you imagine if Ruby Riott pulled it off and won the match? It's probably not going to happen.
She's so smooth.
99 to 1
so good.
I've been a huge fan of Ruby Riott since I saw her in NXT. And I have, besides Shayna Baszler, because I think that is the female wrestler I have never seen WWE drop the ball harder with, is Ruby Riott directly underneath her. Both of them beyond talented, great personalities, totally different niche markets for like fandom, and they just don't do anything with them.
Yeah.
You know, you can appeal to your MMA audience with Shayna, and then, you know, Ruby's that whole like the whole tattoo, different color hair, like, which basically is me and Cory, our kind of fandom, you know, like, I mean, Cory's beautiful girlfriend has blue hair. I mean, like,
I don't know if you just saw this, but she was just featured in the Spencer's ad that's got like 1 million likes on it right now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My video by being Punk by Ed Bassmaster still has 4.2 million viewers now.
Yeah, I love him so much. I love the I'm putting you on the news. I'm putting you on. I was watching those
conversation, so everybody knows. Hold on, where's my camera? See this right here? This is proof that I was there, because my car was being towed, and Ed was mainly in the video, not me. But this is one of the Pokeballs that fell out of his pockets during the video. I stole one of these. I had one of the Pokemon cards, but I don't know what I did with it. I was cleaning today and actually found it under the couch. Oh, nice, dude. Tell her congrats.
That's the Spencer's ad?
That's the Spencer's ad she was in today.
Are they doing like badass lingerie for like?
Well, like she did a shoot, and they shared one around Christmas of her like in a Christmas one, like. What is? I almost called it a onesie, like a teddy, like a teddy. A little onesie, a little baby onesie on.
She's not wearing booties and dressed like a teddy bear. Like it's actually sexy lingerie.
Yeah, I had her Les Spencer's as like my like background on my phone. It's really cool. It like was a festive Christmas spirit sort of thing. But she's really psyched about it because like in the comments, people were like, "Is that Halsey?" Like people thought she was Halsey in the comments, and she was like marking out for it.
She does look like actually, honestly, she does look like Halsey a little bit. So good for her, man. Congrats to her, dude. That's awesome.
I'll tell her you said so.
Yeah, man. I try to promote all my friends. Periphery friends.
Yeah.
Well, I was just up in your neighborhood the other day, Mark. There's a like near where the Met is.
Yeah,
like,
right across, yeah.
Right. I know you live right down the street from there. From like, there's like a public assistance office over there.
Oh.
And we were up on the roof, like fixing their heater. Sorry, go ahead. This is not important, but I was.
I don't know anything in my neighborhood except for the Met and gunshots. That's all I know in my neighborhood. So.
I know there's a KFC across the street that has a bulletproof drive-up window.
And I have a new stray, and I have a new stray calico cat that I've been feeding that just had a litter of kittens. It's across the street. That's about it. Yeah, I don't know where she is.
We just picked up a stray that had a bunch of kittens, so I got a bunch of kittens down in my basement right now. So there's that. Also a calico.
If I wasn't allergic, yeah, because I would have took the bar cat from the Institute back in the day, but I'm too allergic to cats, man. It's just brutal on me.
Mm-hmm.
I want a dog.
I hear you, man.
Dogs are the best.
No. No.
Oh man, I want a dog so bad. I can't like in good conscience do it because it's like I'm not home enough, and I wouldn't want to like make a dog, and I don't have a yard or anything, so I just don't want to. I don't want to like overcommit to something. Like right now, I just kind of scratch the itch to pet a dog by going across the street and playing with my sister's dog. Like that's all I got to do.
Welcome to Rassle Pets, everybody. I'm Rick Connor. No.
Petzel Rock.
Petzel Rock, yeah. Is there any surprises that you're anticipating for the Women's Royal Rumble? Is there anybody it's like, oh, maybe this person's going to come back. Maybe they're going to surprise us with like a Trish Stratus or like, I don't know. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Becky Lynch is coming back for the Rumble.
I think maybe Becky, but I think mainly they're going to pull up people from NXT and UK. So
yeah, I definitely think we're going to see Raquel Gonzalez in the Royal Rumble.
Yes, definitely.
That's something I'm counting on.
Same with Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley
also, yeah, and also like I really would like to see that as well as I'm kind of expecting to see that.
I don't know why. I'm sorry, Mr. Gargano, but your wife, I blanked out on her name for some reason.
Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae will definitely be in the Rumble also.
Mrs. Same Face.
What's that?
As Jim Cornette calls her Mrs. Same Face.
Why?
Because he calls Johnny Gargano Johnny Same Face. He calls Candice LeRae Mrs. Same Face.
By the way, can we finally have Johnny Gargano versus Kushida? Can we have this match? Can we freaking have this match after NXT last week with the Dusty Rhodes Classic? And when they finally got Gargano and Kushida in the match together, and that whatever that hammerlock suplex he did, oh my god! I cannot wait for these two to actually wrestle each other. It's going to be they're just off the charts good.
Yeah, they're probably setting up for the takeover, which is on Valentine's Day this year. It's going to be February 14th is the next takeover, so they're probably setting up for that. So it's only like 2.5 weeks away. So I'm looking forward to that. But first, we got the Royal Rumble. Let's move on to the men's, man. We got a whole bunch. We got a big surprise yesterday on Monday Night Raw. Edge is coming back, and Edge is going to be entering in the Royal Rumble. I personally wish they would have saved this a couple more days for a surprise, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think they should have had him be a surprise entrant in the female.
Should have been a surprise. Should have been a surprise. They shouldn't have done. He did a great shoot interview, but it was typical Edge interview on Monday. He's still great. He's still better than 90% of the guys are doing interview. But like Cory said, he should be a surprise. They shouldn't even said a word until he showed up in the Rumble.
You know, it's funny. It's like remember when he like was in both Elimination Chamber matches where he cashed the Money in the Bank contract in to get into the second one and then won the other championship. They should have him like be in the men's Rumble and get thrown out, and then go be in the women's Rumble and win. Ultimate opportunist, this Edge.
You think they're going to do that again with Nia Jax this year?
I hope not.
Have her
I don't want to see her walk.
Shows up in the men's, and she'll throw out like Drew Gulak if they let him in the Rumble. I don't think he's allowed in there.
No, he lost to AJ Styles. You can't be in the Royal Rumble if you lose to AJ Styles. That's the rules of WWE.
Is there? Yeah, the company that breaks their own rules all the time. Do you think there's going to be any surprises? I don't think Switchblade. I don't think Jay White's going to be there. I think he's going to stay in New Japan. Marty Scurll, maybe, but I can't see him go to WWE.
That anyone will care. Like, I don't feel like he's known enough for anyone to care. Like, he wasn't a big enough deal. I've never watched one of his matches. I don't know. I wouldn't recognize him if I tripped over him.
Yeah, he was a big deal, and then he went to ROH. Was it ROH where he was doing the booking or helping with booking? I thought
that was happening, but I thought he also got canceled. Didn't he get canceled?
I don't know if he got canceled or not. I don't know what's going on with him. I know he's under a lot of nasty allegations, so which I just have to say.
WWE wanted to do with that?
Yeah, true. I'm just thinking of big names, and like the problem is once Scurll took the booking with ROH, he kind of faded away. So he's not. It was like 3 years ago, it might have been a huge thing to see him come out, but now I don't know. And then AEW's got everybody else we might want to see like locked up. So I don't know who's going to come out for the men's run.
What if there's a surprise entrant that is Ryback?
Boo.
Mark Henry comes out.
Rips his skin off. What he said he would do to him? Rip his skin off.
He just chases him around with his little scooter. He's like, "Wait, come here." Let me read off the list of entrants so far. We have 17 out of the 30 people for the men's Royal Rumble. We got Daniel Bryan, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Otis, The Miz, Jey Uso, Cesaro, Jeff Hardy, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke Nakamura, Big E, Edge, John Morrison, Sheamus, and Mustafa Ali. There's not really that many big names in it. Like nobody that's like a big guy that's like a former champion, and there's not like a Reigns or a Lesnar or a Strowman or somebody like that where it's like, all right, he's like borderline a lock. So I'm thinking Edge might take this whole thing.
I'm thinking that Cesaro is going to take the whole thing.
I don't know. I know they're pushing this whole thing with Cesaro and Daniel Bryan. I think one of them's going to eliminate the other, but I do think Cesaro is going to be the one eliminating Bryan. But I don't know what's going to happen to Cesaro.
There was an interview with Paul Heyman on Talking Smack where he said if he could pick someone face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, it would be Cesaro. And I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, because I know Paul Heyman has his hand in writing this Roman Reigns head of the table tribal chief storyline. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows? I would absolutely go out of my mind if Cesaro won the Royal Rumble. The fact that they're finally giving him the push he deserves I would blow my stack, but I don't see it happening because they haven't yet, and the guy's been there for like 10 years. So we'll see. I don't know.
Who did Dolph Ziggler have a match with this week?
Cesaro.
It was Cesaro.
That was such a good match. It was an amazing match. They did such a good job. Like, I think that equally like the very good wrestling that we saw in that was like equally what I think we could have seen in the Shayna Baszler Charlotte stuff for that couple of minutes, and then it just went away. Like they just blah on whatever that really good match was. Like, you saw the psychology where like Shayna was going for the hair while she had Charlotte in the headlock. Shayna was going for the hair, and then Charlotte was like, and let go of the headlock. It's really good psychology. I was digging that a lot.
They've been doing that a lot, especially on Monday Night Raw, of just people working double duty. Like, there'll be a match, and then the match will either end or somebody will get disqualified or whatever, and they'll be like, all right, let's make this a tag team match. All right, let's make this. They did it with Sheamus the same night.
Right. He was in a handicap match.
And then all of a sudden he's in a handicap match for no reason whatsoever. They did it a couple of weeks ago with Matt Riddle and the Hurt Business, and they did it again this week. Oh, let's put Matt Riddle in a gauntlet match against the 3 of the Hurt Business people. And
by the way, Matt Riddle versus Shelton Benjamin, that was some good stuff. Dude, Shelton Benjamin is very underrated, and he changed his whole style because he's older, and it's more of his wrestling mat-based stuff. That was some real good fun. I don't know what they're doing with Cedric Alexander, how he's like making the rest of the Hurt Business angry. I think they're trying to go for like a Rock Nation of Domination thing, but Cedric Alexander's not the Rock. Like, it's just not working.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know where that's going to go. But for now, I think it's just about that time we shine that spotlight on somebody. Let's see who did the best, who's shown the brightest this week in a segment called Who Wins Wrestling. Who wins wrestling? Blah, 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 blah. Who's got one? Who wants to go first?
I'm going to go with I almost went with Lucha House Party because the Dusty Rhodes Classic has been great. But I'm going to go with Les Thatcher. Thatcher's been killing it. And I like how they developed this match around him. What was it, the Fight Pit? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Timothy Thatcher, is that what you mean?
Timothy Thatcher. I don't know why I'm calling Les Thatcher.
Well, he's named after Les Thatcher. Les Thatcher was like an old timer who he trained a lot of really important, like, big names.
I'm pretty sure he didn't wrestle this week.
I like that they developed a match like a match that, like, you have to go in there and beat Thatcher. Like, it's a special match and only happens once in a blue moon, and then, like, you have to beat him in his element, and the match is great. Like, the way they do the camera angles, like how, and then him beating Ciampa with that, basically with like a stretch muffler, basically, but he was using the cage to twist his limbs up at the same time. Dude, that was I don't know. I really liked it. I have to go with him this week. It was a solid match. There was a lot of good wrestling, but I just really liked the way they did that. And I really like the Fight Pit. I like the Fight Pit a lot.
Yeah, me too. I was listening to an old episode of Rassle Rock the other day where we were talking about that Fight Pit. It was right after the one he had with Matt Riddle. And we were already talking about how instead of Raw Underground on that weird ring with no ropes, they should have just done the Fight Pit, and it would have been 10 times better. That Fight Pit is really awesome. I love the scaffolding surrounding the cage. It looks like a brutal cage fight. Not like a steel cage match. It looks like a cage fight, like a legit cage fight. Like, you could just tear somebody's face off. It looks insane.
Not only that, if you remember, Hell in a Cell in the beginning was the Undertaker's match. That was his match. Like, when he finally wanted to wreck you, he's like, "Oh, well, you're going to wrestle me in Hell in a Cell." And like, now you have this thing on NXT where, like, you have a guy. He's like, "All right, well, you really want to beat me? You really think you can beat me? Well, come to my world." And they build the Fight Pit, and then you have to go in there and try beating him in his domain. And it's a really, like I said, man, I think it's a really cool element. I just hope they don't make a pay-per-view of it. Or like they watch the Fight Pit every night.
Cory, who do you got, man? Who wins wrestling?
Same as last week, Cesaro. Hang on one second.
Okay, bye. Hell, man. All right, let's all wait now. Let's wait. We have to wait for why? What is the reason, Cory?
Well, the cat was over. Chris's cat was over scratching on the carpet on the steps. So
what is your reason for Cesaro winning wrestling? Damn it!
Because that match with Dolph Ziggler was amazing, and it really like there's been a winning streak, and it seems like it's really going to head in a direction where he could start getting the push that he deserves.
Okay, thank you.
and the cat was scratching at the carpet.
Okay, I get you. I was gonna go with Cesaro, and I don't really have anybody else really besides Cesaro. I would give him a double one, except there was a little pay-per-view, a little Indian pay-per-view in the way. I mean, it came from Florida, but it was for India on the WWE Network this morning. It was at 9:30 in the morning over here in the States. Basically a showcase of all this Indian talent that they had. And there was a woman named Serena Sandhu, if I'm saying her name right. I apologize if I'm not. But she beat Natalya. She pinned Natalya dead center of the ring. And I thought that was great. This whole show, maybe I'll just give the whole show Who Wins Wrestling.
Yeah.
Because it was fun. It wasn't anything like super, you have to see these matches. They're so good. It was more of just a showcase of the Indian talent that they have on the roster. I'm really excited that I got to watch it, and it was really fun. It was a nice, fun show for once where I wasn't screaming at Nia Jax.
Yeah, I think they're gonna try to have an NXT India. I think that's maybe part of the plan. So maybe this is just like the first steps in that. I'm guessing.
I've heard
that very peripherally. Right.
Yeah. I did hear. Well, they mentioned it on commentary today that they're looking for a performance center in India. It's still going to take a couple years, according to the commentary that I heard today on this show. So who knows? It could be a year, it could be two. COVID's a bastard, so who knows? It might still be a while. But I'm looking forward to it. Oh man, I think we're about done, folks. I think that's about it. Is there anything else you guys want to throw out there? Because it wasn't a huge news week this week, and we're all excited for the Rumble. So,
guess what, guys? I switched my schedule. I'll be full blown on the Rumble this week.
Yay!
Hey!
It'll probably be the last big pay-per-view I do until Mania. I'll switch for Mania that week. But we got gambling to do on the Rumble. So we got Matt Flowers. We got a couple other people joining.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna. That's my plug. And apparently, according to Cory, check out my old podcast. It's somehow still in Stitcher. The Uneducated Podcast. If it's still up there and you can listen to my old episodes, I'm gonna have to go look and see what's on there.
I was really contemplating listening to some episodes. I saw one that was called what was it? It was something, and Rick was the guest on it. And it was you had a clever name for it. I forget what it was.
Yeah, I started doing that for a while instead of actually just naming who the guest was. So nobody cares. Nobody knew the guests. So I just started naming goofy titles. I'm trying to think who's the most famous person I had on there?
Me.
Probably.
No, you've had Sophia on.
I had Nick Burke on there too, but
Nick Burke was on.
We were supposed to do my ex, who I'm still friends with to this day, but we just never figured out a date. That would have probably been my biggest one. That was Emily.
You should absolutely just take it to Twitch and just do your podcast still. Just be Uneducated with Mark and just put them put a Twitch where it's you just go live and you're
believe me, Ed's taking the bar in 3 weeks, and then once he gets the bar and that's all done, and he's studying lessons. And once he decides where he's going to live, whether he's going to live in Scranton or Philly, we're in talks of redoing the show. And I definitely want to do a Twitch. I want to do something on Twitch with it. We just got to do it more PC because with him being a lawyer, depending on what direction he can go, it can kind of mess with his career.
Mm-hmm.
So once we figure that out, and then I don't know if we're still going to do the drinking part either. I think that's going to be eliminated. But yeah, man, should be like, but if it's still on there, if my father's episodes are still on there, definitely check those out. It's episode 22 and I think 78, if I'm right. It's been a while.
So damn good episodes, man.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited that those exist, and I didn't think they did anymore. So I'm gonna check out some uneducated podcasts episodes.
I forgot what number it is, but if you can find the post Super Bowl episode with Spencer before he passed, that was an actual really fun episode. There was one Mania I did with you two. I can't remember if it was the first one. I think it's the first one we did together.
Yeah, I think you named the episode Rassle Mania.
Yeah, and Rick got pretty banged up on there and got aggressive.
A little bit.
So that one's pretty fun too. I've had Nick on there and I was super drunk. I don't want to delete that episode ever. But yeah, I'm
nothing like
bring it back.
Nice. Very nice. Cory, what do you got for plugs, man?
So if you're on Stitcher, I'm also, my podcast Evolving with Cory Castle is now on Stitcher. So check out the other, there's at this point, there's I think 211 episodes, but there's there's up to 215 on my YouTube. So you can watch the YouTube videos. So if you're going to subscribe on YouTube, you'll get notices every time I upload a new episode. And if you subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, if you follow me, you'll get new episodes every Monday dropping at noon. And, let me know, like I said, I always say this, let me know you exist. If you like this show, let us know you exist. Give us what feels like a little bit of your feedback. This is a little bit of a call to action, considering that we're packing up a free lunch for you on a weekly basis, and we love you. So love us back. Give us a little love back.
I thought you were going to say, give us what feels like a high five. Give us what feels like a big warm hug.
Yeah, you'd give a high five or a good warm hug to somebody who's packing you a free lunch on a weekly basis.
Yeah, absolutely. Why the heck not? Should I just rattle off because we're on Stitcher as well, but we're on a whole bunch of stuff. Should I just rattle those off real quick?
Yeah, do that for a change.
Yeah, why not? You can find this podcast on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Chrome, Google Podcasts, which is different than Chrome somehow. I didn't even know that. TuneIn Radio, Simplecast, Firefox, Player FM, Android browser, and Player.fm, which is apparently something completely different.
Wait a minute. So there's a Google, Chrome, and Android browser?
Yep.
That's redundant.
Completely. I don't know. I'm just going by what it says on Simplecast. So we're on a whole bunch of stuff. We're not on videos anymore, I found out.
I'm drunk on tequila and I need to eat my food.
Okay, so check out WrestleRock.com for all the information on purchasing the merchandise that's going to go directly to charity and definitely benefits all the charities, doesn't benefit us. Subscribe to Rick's YouTube channel. Go ahead, Rick.
Rumble! We're doing a Rumble!
You did all my freaking plugs again, you bastard!
Well, because Mark's like, come on, I'm drunk, I want to go. And I was just trying to...
All right, great, whatever, okay.
Pasta and blush sauce. Awesome.
All right. That'll about do it for this episode of Rassle Rock. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Rick Connor.
I'm drunk.
Cory Castle.
And let's take it out like we always do with Mr. Nick Burke.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Join us again for another episode of Rassle Rock. This has been Jay Davis speaking.